Okay, welcome to the Good Morning Education Show. My name is Rotimi Eitaya, and it's such a great day to be alive, such a great opportunity to be here with you once again. And I believe we're going to have a great time together. And today is not going to be an exception. We always encourage, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, to please do let us know where you're connecting from. Tell us your name, tell us your location, tell us where you're connecting from. We'd like to know. I would like to appreciate you. We would like to ring the bell of blessing as well to you. So wherever you are, please do not hesitate to let us know your location. And of course, as we continue the conversation today, do not hesitate to also come in and share your thoughts on the subject matter that we are discussing for the day. It's always a great pleasure and always a great time to hear from you, to learn from you, to understand your perspective about the matter that we're discussing on the show. And then, of course, not just looking at that, we would also like to entertain questions. So if you do have questions, especially on the subject matter for the day, please do not hesitate to ask um, your question. Your question is quite important to us all, and I believe that it's going to be a great opportunity to learn together, to share together, to go together. Of course, on the show we will be joined uh, by our analysts, experts in the studio. They get to tell us their thoughts, share from different perspectives as industry experts on the conversation of the day. And so please stay tuned with us as we, explore the conversation together. For those of you that just joining, you will notice that for some time now, we've decided to tackle conversations just to prepare us as we head towards a new year, as we wind down on this year. We want to ensure that educators are more equipped and are more deliberate, especially with regards to the kind of outcome that they do have, right, as they get into a new year. I believe that it's very important that we equip educators, we equip ourselves to ensure that we don't just have the what you would normally call the way it goes, as it goes all the time. So we will be spending time to ensure, and if you follow us, and I would advise that if you're just connecting with us, spend time to follow the series. Take time to look at each of the videos of past episodes. There will be something that you will be able to learn from it, and of course, you would also enjoy the very diverse views and, of course, points being made by our experts. So without wasting more time, I'd like to welcome Safety Chick to the show. Safety Chick, good morning and
Good
welcome to the Good
morning,
Morning
Mr.
Education Show.
Rotimi.
How are you
Good
today?
morning to all. I'm very fine. Good morning to all our viewers, various locations. Hope you had a beautiful weekend.
Safety Chick, are you there?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Safety Chick, are you there?
I've been speaking all this while. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Hi.
Safety Chick, are you
Can
there?
you hear me now? Yes, I'm here. Okay, I know I would.
Safety Chick. All right, so while we wait for her to connect with us, I'm sure it probably will be a network challenge, right? But I believe she's going to connect back again and join us as the show progresses. That is quite interesting. Is okay. So let's see if Safety Chick, are you back?
Can
Good
you hear me
morning.
now, sir?
Yes, we can. Welcome to the
Okay, I
show.
was speaking. I was already speaking. I didn't even know you were not hearing me. Good morning, Mr. Ritimi. Good morning to all our viewers. I'm happy to be here. Hope you had a beautiful weekend.
Fantastic, fantastic. Great to have you here as well. And I'm very sure that you're fired up and pumped up for the week. Right?
Yes, yes, I am.
All right. So we also welcome Titi in the building. Titi, good morning. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello, Rotimi.
Good
Hello,
morning,
everyone.
Mrs. Adelsi.
Hello to everyone
All
in the
right.
house.
So we're going straight for the news, and we'll be
Okay.
back to review the news, and then we'll take it from there. Welcome back
Our
to the
headlines.
Good Morning Education Show. Now it's time to review the headlines. Quite a short headline news today, but we'll review all
But
the same.
heavy one.
So starting, all right. So Safety Chick will start with you. Yeah.
Yes, it's short, right? But those headlines are heavy. Like,
I
what
can't
does
say this.
FG mean by saying that what exactly they mean by saying that you're pegging
First class.
teachers applications for teachers to be first class? Really? Are you sure the first class people want to come and go into this system that you have? This system that you have that is currently unattractive, and then those who now really want to do it, you are now putting them aside because you are giving first class as the benchmark. That is one. Two, Kanu that is resuming school November 16. Is this first term, half term, or I don't understand which term is this going to? Because if they're resuming on the 16th, school would most likely be closing in about another month because of the end of the year activities and all that. So what exactly is the plan in that direction? And there was this other there was this the third one again. Oh, it's just skipped my mind right now. But those headlines are, yes, they are short, right? But they are quite impactful. They are serious issues. So I think that we shouldn't just create all, because the problem we keep having is we keep on creating all these laws and policies without looking at the reality on ground, or trying to make the reality able to cater to the new laws, the new policies, and that's a challenge. So the first thing first is not increasing the academic qualification for teachers, which is not a bad thing. But the first thing should be making the profession even attractive, so that you are able to attract the best minds. If you give a high cutoff and it is not attractive, your best minds will keep going to where they feel appreciated. They'll keep going to where they feel they'll be better remunerated than, as opposed to coming into the system that doesn't look well planned. So let me just stop here first because I'm boiling here.
Please, calm down, calm down. Put on the AC. Put on the AC. Put on the AC. Put on the fan.
Honorable Minister, calm down.
No, don't be boiling there.
Titi, I'm sure you want to say something.
Honestly, I agree with Safety Chick to say why peg first class? I think what they should be saying is, we want to get the best minds into education. Um, I don't say the best mind is the equivalent to first class. In the end,
Mm-hmm.
what you want are the best minds. And someone having a second class lower doesn't mean the person is not a best mind either, because a lot of
Yeah.
this test is really it's really checking more of your discipline and long-term consistency. Doesn't necessarily not make you a very, so you can have someone that does a test and might barely scale through, especially because of the way the questions are set. A lot of our questions are checking academic knowledge rather than a skill. So I think what they should do more is, rather than just come and arbitrarily say I'm going to peg, is say what strategy do we have to get the best minds into education. So what are the things that what are the things that we need to do? The putting the cap is really the least of the problem. The problem is that what will first of all make it attractive to best minds? What are the things that will make it attractive? And let's start having this 5-year, 10-year, 20-year plan on how to implement it. Because if you go back in those days, when our parents came into the workspace, there were strategies in place to attract the best mind into the civil service. Most people I grew up with, their parents were in the civil service. Their parents were brilliant minds. People that, they went to school abroad, came back into the civil service because the civil service then was attractive. I mean, my father worked in NEPA. We lived in Ikoyi. Do you understand? He had official cars. There were a number of things that made it attractive. I had a lot of my friends that their parents were all lived in the same neighborhood, working in different things, and it was an attractive industry. That's where they wanted to be. They knew that they were making a change, and there was performance driven moving up, as well as so many other things. There was medical care, because I remember the hospital we all went to, which was paid, which was being paid by the government. So it was an attractive industry to come into. And I don't know whether they had the case of saying it had to be a first class. They had an exam or some entrance procedure that if you scaled, then you went in. So I think that's for me should really be more of the focus than just arbitrarily just say, oh, it's first class. No, have a process that really is rigorous. Have a minimum criteria, for eligibility, but have a process that is rigorous to get you to scale to enter. And even when you enter, is what's making it attractive for you. And sometimes the attraction doesn't always have to be in monetary terms. It's the same way in those days, people that were educators, especially those who are lecturers, there were so many exchange programs. There were so many trainings they could go for. There were so many overseas trips, that they went for to exchange minds with, other people across the world. Those are some of the things that made it attractive beyond money. Because not everyone is all focused. We all want money, but not everybody makes it their number one priority. So I think for me, that's the angle I would come from, rather than just put an arbitrary, high jump high jump scale that be able to scale.
Well, to
Yes.
add to
Then
to add to
I also remember
okay,
the
yeah,
other thing I
continue.
wanted to talk about, which is the ASU strike. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. I remember the other thing I wanted to speak about, which is the ASU strike. So I have a sibling who is affected by the ASU strike, and he sent us a screenshot to our family WhatsApp group saying, from PM News, ASU urges undergraduates to acquire skills, travel, and have fun. Imagine. So that means it's not even on their radar yet to bring back the show. So the children by themselves have to, should I say, be more diligent about making use of their time well. Otherwise, time would
But
pass.
I like
They
that
would not do
advice
anything
now.
tangible with that time. And of course, yeah, the advice is great. The advice is great, and it's really important because many times a lot of young people are just floating. But then again, on the other side, it now looks like they are not ready to make the necessary decisions so that education can continue. And that is also a problem. So there are two sides to it. There's the advantage that at least they're even giving them options of what they can do. But then the other thing is, if somebody plans to go to school for 4 years, you should know that it will be 4 years and not enter 6 years. I mean, you can't be going to do what are they calling it? Say a history, for example, and you end up spending as much time as someone who is supposed to become a medical doctor, and then you come out without a doctor, without being a doctor. So that's one. Then on the other part of pegging first class, the way our system is rigged is such that it doesn't cater to the different learning variations we have among students. So again, I have a sibling who is very great at when he listens to videos that Oyibos are teaching, he gets what they are saying. But now come to the Nigerian university, your lecturer is teaching you with all these notes and stuff that is from time past. And even when you go to study the same thing online, you can see that what they're teaching you online is a bit different from what they're teaching you in class. And even though what they've explained is much better, you can't answer that in your exam because your teacher wants you to give what they gave you. So somehow again, the learning system has been rigged in a way that it doesn't really favor the different kinds of learners we have in our classroom. So because maybe they are dyslexic, for example, they will not be able to regurgitate everything verbatim. So they will not have a first class, but they are 2-2 or 2-1 doesn't make them any less. So these are just issues that must be considered. So I agree what Mr. Dewisi mentioned, that they should be it's best minds you want, is not necessarily first class. Because again, sometimes we have first classes who are not able to interpret what they have written in real life situations, and that's a problem also.
Rotimi, you're on mute. Rotimi, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. Thank you for that. So another side of that same news is there's also the 2-1 factored into it. So it's just not just the first class, but people with 2-1 as well. So well, we're watching and we're seeing the story unfold. A lot of us sometimes are concerned by the way and manner we try to window dress solutions when it comes to the sector. But then, we all have said, we identify that there's a need for us to fix the problems that are looming, and we need to know whether our regulators are clueless or they just wish to just rigmarole around the same route. Well, then that's what we have, and we believe that things will get better as we get into another phase and another year coming ahead. I saw a post on Facebook that was on Sunday, and someone was already saying Merry Christmas. Does that feel strange to you?
Merry Christmas.
Although Titi, you already having your own packs.
Yeah, we
ahead.
are ready in this. We are ready in this Christmas.
You're taking orders already.
Yeah, so we are taking orders. It's not too early.
Hope my address is on your mailing list.
there's something you need to do to get it on the mailing list.
I still have to do something at this level.
Yeah, so,
Titi.
but what I want to say, safety chick, in connection to the message your brother received. Honestly, I even think that one helps you. So I would encourage everyone out there that is listening, that you have a sibling in the university. Let them go and acquire a skill. Let them go and join an internship program. Niger Kids, I think we have 3 slots, 3 or 4 openings for internship programs. So they should just go and do something. Go and do something. Go and learn something. Go and already start earning and acquiring skills. Go and see what the real life is like, pending when this thing comes. Because when people say they're not in a hurry, especially when the end of the year is coming, then it's a major cause for concern. But I would say, in retrospect, I always look and say, all those times that we didn't know how long each strike was going to be, we could have used it to learn something. A lot of us would have been a bit more entrepreneurial in university. If you had done that, as against that one of sitting at home and watching movies from morning to night. So I'm hoping that
Yeah.
anyone out there is doing something. I mean, for me, once the thing passes 3 weeks of staying at home, just go and start doing something. Just go and start doing something. Look for your auntie, cousin, someone that can be going to their office even for free, just to be helping out with something. Because if you come and work for me for free and you're a diligent somebody, the next time I have an opportunity, you'll be the first person I'll think about, and a paying opportunity. So the next time I have something that's a 1 month whatever, I'll think about you. So I'll just advise anybody out there, if you have cousins, nephews, whatever it may be, just help them go and learn somewhere. Let them go and be staying in someone's shop. There's some people that need their cheap labor to help them look after their shop. They should go and do that. Okay, Rotimi, back to you.
Someone is already responding to your comment.
Oh, thank you, Raquel. I hope I pronounced your name well. Raquel Daniel, thank you for joining us today on the Good Morning Show. Yes, learning a skill will do a lot. I'm telling you, it will help you,
It's so
beyond that.
important. For example, you know that. Okay, go ahead, please.
I was saying that it
Go
will
ahead,
help you
please. Sorry.
balance the money your parents are giving yourself. By the time you realize that, oh boy, I can make some
Yes,
money, then
so
you start looking at opportunities. Then you'll never be broke. You're one of those rich students that we're always green with them.
exactly.
So
Exactly.
a
And
fellow blessing to
it also gives them a lot of learning opportunities. Yes, because like for example, now my younger brother is interning with this firm, and the feedback is a software developer, and they're just so impressed that they undersold the boy to them, and he's earning more than what some graduates are earning. So I had to use the opportunity to now do another education. There's something called budgeting. This is how to save your money. I mean, this money now, you can even pay your school fees when you get back to. But why will you pay? I say, my friend, if you're earning something, you can support, you know. You'll be able to. So you know, manage their money, how to manage their time, how to boost their productivity. So at the end of the day, it's a win-win, really. So nobody should allow the student to just be whiling away time. I mean, the year was already sort of as if people were floating. If you've not been able to anchor yourself as at November 2020, then that's going to be a problem. So they should stay grounded doing something.
All right. Thank you all for those of you joining us. We would like to say thank you. Thank you for joining. This is the Good Morning Education Show. And I believe that you're learning already. And please do let us know that you're joining. If you're joining for the first time, a bell of blessing. And thank you to Raquel. Thank you to Chin and So. Thank you to all our fantastic tribe members who join, sometimes secretly behind the scenes, sometimes openly, and sometimes they watch the replay. Shout out to Nana. Shout out to Ifyo. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to what's his name again? Gideon, and all those are fantastic people. Yes, of course, Raquel is the volunteering and internship queen in Nigeria, as far as I'm concerned. So that's why this topic seems to be a bit, a bit interesting for her to keep talking. Yes, so we're talking about unrestrained expertise today, and it's just going to be a follow-up to the headlines. Well, of course, we all know what expertise is. Your expertise represents a summation of what you've been able to garner over the period of time you've been exposed to a skill. It's a summary of your exposure. It's a summary of also your proof of performance. Expertise means a lot to many people. But the word that I would like us to focus on today is unrestrained expertise, especially when it comes to the world of education. It seems like our expertise seems to have a ceiling. Something caps it. It's almost like we're gagged in our expression and our pursuit. And today we want to break that ceiling. We want to talk about unrestrained expertise. We want people to discover that the goal is for us to be able to get to a point where we are not muzzled out They are not things that you say is no-go area, especially across the value chain of education. We want to see more people, get unleashed instead of feeling suppressed, feeling subdued. We want our expertise to be far and wide. And it comes from different angles. Sometimes you've asked on the show, and I've asked many people sometimes, why is it that our pursuit is fixed within a confines, within a particular boundary? Why are we not present in certain locations? These are many more we're going to be talking about today. So Titi is going to be the one I'm starting with today. She's been on leave for a while in answering my question first. So I'm back to Titi. Titi, are you ready for me?
Rotimi, I'll try to be ready for you. What? I just want to know the simplified version of this question you've asked.
Okay, so
is it
just the
why people are not unrestrained in showcasing their expertise, or
okay. Let's start with the fact that I want you to help us get into that world of expertise being restrained, right? So that we can now begin to unbundle it to the point of being from restraint to unrestrained.
okay, I found that a lot of people feel that they don't have much to offer. A lot of us have this mindset, because I'm not yet an expert, because I'm not yet there, I don't have anything to, I shouldn't be uh polongoing my goods. I think that's the word I'll use, because I know that I'm still learning. I know that I don't know it all yet. But what I've realized about expertise is like a child that is crawling and learning to walk. That there's the parent that can teach her, but there's also her friend who has already started walking. That when she falls down, can go and take her hand and kind of help her and encourage her, even though that one just learned how to walk just a few months ahead. So most people feel that they're not yet there, they're not experts. So why should they go and try and help another person? Some people are just very critical of themselves. They know that they haven't gotten there yet, so they feel they shouldn't go out there. But one of the things I've increasingly realized is that people are at different levels, which means that I know A to M, but someone only knows A to B. So what that means is that I can help the person go a bit further than where they are, because I have gone further. So I think that's the first thing, is really our mindset. Our mindset feeling that we don't have something yet to give. I still spoke to someone about it yesterday, and she was saying, no, she's still learning. I said, but you've learned, but you already know so much already. So to every educator that is listening out there, as long as you've learned something, you might not be an expert, then it means that you have an opportunity to give back to someone else. So let's realize that we should always constantly in our lives be giving back. And one of the best ways they say that to show that you've mastered something is that try and teach another person. So it's a two-edged sword. A two-edged sword is that the generosity of your spirit in giving back actually is one of the fastest way for you to perfect your learning. So that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying that everyone listening out there, as long as you move from step A to C, it means that you can teach someone A and B. So I want to encourage you that if this year you didn't do any of it, make up your mind that come 2021, it will be a life of giving back. And when you start that life, you then find out, you know what, I have my little, to give back. And then let me add church preaching here. It's like the story of the five loaves and the two fishes. The guy's 5 loaves and 2 fishes relative to the 1,000 that needed to be filled were insignificant. But you know what? It was still he gave it that he multiplied. So I just want to let you know that the little that you have, no matter how little, start to give it. And the moment you do, you'll be amazed at how much it multiplies. How much it multiplies in the sense of helping other people, and how much it multiplies in the sense of helping you, the giver. So this, as we enter a new season, I'm saying remove the restraints in your mind.
Very, very, very powerful. Remove the restraint, and you mentioned that it's from your mind. Remove the restraint from your mind. Ugochi, City has
Yes,
opened the
sir.
floor. Shea voice. All right. Um, so Titi said remove the restraint. And we're going straight and going deeper into this conversation on restrained
Okay.
expertise. I would like you to take us into that reality of expertise is almost like expertise unlimited, right? And I believe that one critical element that might help people get this reality is the kind of hunger they have. Sometimes it seems like we are
Yes.
just pressing on to getting by. It seems like there's no hunger. And and I want you to also dwell on how can we get to that point where we're really hungry. Not that we're academically hungry, we're really hungry.
So I think it's about having a vision, a plan of what you want. Let me put it this way: a compelling vision of what you are trying to do, what you are trying to achieve, and the impact you want to make in the world. Because you see, when you realize that there is more to life than what you are doing for yourself and your immediate family members, when you realize that there is a lot that you can do to people across from your immediate environment, that's your immediate community, to even across borders, then you see that you are not just here for yourself. It gives you a sense of responsibility to want to do more. It gives you a sense of responsibility to not now just want to do more, but to do it excellently. And to be able to do something excellently, you need expertise, you need knowledge, because you can't give what you do not have, except you want to go and embarrass yourself and say talk down at your audience or not give them any value. Then that is you being mediocre. But if you really want to be exceptional, then it means you always need to come from a place of knowledge, and knowledge comes from building expertise, increasing what you already know. So when you have that compelling vision, then you need to settle down and ask yourself, what must I do to step into this vision? Who must I become? There is something one of my coaches normally says, that the person that receives a vision is different from the person that executes the vision. And that is the truth. So when you have that compelling vision, so for example, you can see that you are going to be the Secretary General of the United Nations. But as I like this in your house in Yaba, you know that it's not possible, because maybe you don't even have a higher education degree, or you don't have certain practical experiences. But you tell yourself, okay, the person that is currently the UN Secretary General has just one head. So who you need to do your research. Past UN Secretary Generals, what was their life like? What did they study? What schools did they go to? What kind of courses did they do? What sort of jobs did they take? What sort of things did they do in their spare time? How are they impacting doing that kind of a research now begins to give you an idea of the steps you can take that will lead you to where you are going. Okay, so have the compelling vision, do your research, then begin to act. Because now you would see that maybe in the course of doing your research, you discover that, oh, all of them have a master's degree, and currently you just have your first degree. Then you be like, okay, you need to put a master's degree on the plan. But then again, you say, oh, it's too expensive, I can't afford it. Okay, if you can't afford to do it internationally, can you go to Unilag? Is there a plan in Unilag that is more affordable? Or you really want to do it internationally, or do I need to get scholarships to fund it? So don't just get overwhelmed by your compelling vision. Break it down into steps and start learning. What I find is, once we begin to take steps in the direction of our vision, other things begin to gravitate, because we are pulling things in our direction unconsciously. So it takes you moving, taking those steps, and then you will see that things begin to fall in place. You get certain opportunities that land on your lap just because of the trail you have already created. But you have to do the work. So you can't just wait and have the compelling vision and just have it, leave it in your head as just a vision. You just keep imagining and imagining. No, you have to get out there. You have to do what needs to be done. You need to learn. You need to see how to help others within your environment, because like Mr. Dewusi mentioned, when you know something and you teach it to other people, you know that thing twice. So don't just feel that, oh, if I tell them, they will steal my knowledge. They will. No, I think a lot of times when people do that, that's actually one of the reasons why people do not share as much as they know, because they feel that when they share it, others will take it and then they won't have anything left. No, we need to have that abundance mindset that even if I share, it doesn't make me less. I will still get more. I will still receive more. And then we just keep growing in that way.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that. And very quickly, of course, from the things that you both said, I just want to chip this in and I'll use this to ask the next question. Obviously, for us to really get to that point of unrestrained expertise, we need to take bold steps, bold risk. We need to take bold risk. And I'd like to invite Titi to really give us some level of insight into taking bold risk. Bold risk. Titi.
I think the first step, is to have that what they call hairy, scary goal. That big,
Yes.
uh, Safety Chick said it. I think everyone needs to have a goal that scares you. They say that if you have dreams and your dreams don't scare you, you've not even started. So you need to have that dream, and then start from there. It starts with goal setting. That's what I think. And one of the things that I've found out is that the more you set goals and you take that first bold step, the easier it becomes. Some people will stay in a job for 20 years. Not that staying in a job is for that long is bad. But you find out the people that are bold enough to just take that first step and change jobs. After that, you just see they become chronic job changers. It just is. That's the thing about life. It's always a leap of faith. But when you then take that leap of faith, then you then see that things happen. So the first thing is have a very big goal, and as Safety Chick said, then break that goal into smaller goals. So the example she gave about the UN, where you want to be like that, and then look to the person's life and say, how did the person get there, and then break that into smaller goal. Oh, the person did this, the person did that, and then you start taking it one at a go. So as we get towards the end of the year, I think it's good that we're talking about this and saying to yourself, give yourself a big scary goal. So tell yourself, you know what? First, in January next year, I want to host a webinar that's teaching 20 educators or 20 parents or whatever it is, something that I know, for like an hour. You can start out with it being very free, because once you get that out of your system, then it really becomes easier. And you don't have to compete in an already competitive market. And when I mean already competitive market, I'm saying you don't have to compete in Lagos and Abuja and Port Harcourt, where everybody's doing webinars. You can do it in other places. You can even say to yourself, you know what? I belong to this church. And in this church, I noticed that there are educators there. So go and meet them and say, I want to organize something one Saturday morning for 2 hours where I will get myself and maybe one of my other colleagues to do that. It's a step. So you just have those kind of goals in whatever it is. Or you can even start with your school and say, okay, you think you are good in this area, go and approach your principal, or you even do event style, whereby you go and jack all night for a new thing, and then go and approach your principal or head of school and say, you know what, that there's this new skill that you want to teach the people. Meanwhile, you are teaching afraid because you yourself have just learned it. But the beautiful thing about that is when you do that, you get you get better. I don't know if you people remember my story of teaching people how to use the computer when I was in university. Remember what I said? Every night I will jack the book, and then the next morning I'll come and teach the and then when they ask me a question that I'm not sure of, I will say, you know what, okay, you know what, I'll just think about it. Then go and do jacking all again to have the answer to that. I was teaching afraid, but you know what? That thing still allowed me. That passion drove me. In the end, they were very happy, and they still told someone else. So don't think that you right now are not. It's okay. So go and say to yourself, you know what? In my school, they need this skill. Go and spend 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks reading all about it, learning all about it, put your presentation slides together, and then go and tell your head of school, I want to teach, come and teach the people on it. You know, it is that first time that is the hardest. That first time that you are sweaty, that first time you are nervous,
Yes.
you know, and you can get a friend of yours to help practice with, you know, because that's what I do as well. When it's something, I call my sister, I call my friend, I run through my ideas, then they give me cues and say, oh, I didn't get this from this, I think this is missing, you know, and I then do a final rehearsal and before I then go and present to the people. So if you also have that, you find that, you know, the sky is the limit. So my advice is set those goals, give yourself a commitment. Sometimes I even tell people, go and already make the commitment so that you can't back out of it. Do you understand? Go and make the commitment and say, oh, 21st of January, I will do this thing. Put the day, let them pencil it down. Then that way, you've made that commitment. So you can't back out, you know, and that way you then start preparing towards it.
Fantastic. And you know, I tell people that what you just said, there's a process to it. They call it volunteer leadership, where you always put yourself forward. You know, who would like to be the person? Who would like to, would it be nice for us to explore this aspect? And it would be nice to see someone who could do it. And the person raises up his hand or her hand and says, hi. When you volunteer yourself, in fact, over a period of time, people would just naturally begin to also volunteer you for roles. And that places you in a place of doing. In a place of doing, you get to the place of expertise. And another thing that I believe that we need to really, really talk about, especially as this topic is concerned, is that a lot of us need to, you know, we need to begin to tell ourselves, yes. It's like we're so familiar with the word no that we've also said no to ourselves. We've said no to the possibilities. We've said no to exploration. We've said no to adventure. You know, I'm sure, Titi, you remember all these backpackers, all these people that just pick up a bag and pack up some few light things and just say, you know what, they're going hiking or they're hitchhiking or they're going backpacking. Have you heard those kind of people? You've seen their kind of approach to life. Most of backpackers, they don't worry about how they will get transportation. They just know that they will get to the destination they're going, and they start out. And one of the major aspects of having expertise restrained is that a lot of us are not willing to go to the field. You know, like we would say sometimes to the you want to go out of the trenches. You know, you want to go out there. That thing is so is so critical. How do we even venture out? How do we venture out? You know, and let's explore that. How do we get adventure into the place of pursuit? How do we make the things we do adventurous? Safety check. You remember some years ago, early in the year, we had the education storm, and then you know I can still remember vividly, you know, when we went to Kaduna and while people were still in the euphoria of Happy New Year out and about, you know, it was fun, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was. I think that was that was an opportunity for me to visit, to, you know, interact with students and teachers in Kaduna live, you know. So it was interesting. I had fun.
And then, of course, you know, you being with colleagues, being with other people. So even outside the stage, outside the on that energy in the conversation, and this is what it is. You know, why should the expertise of safety chick just be found in Lagos? You know, why is it that? And before you know it, you've gone everywhere now. Yeah, I've seen safety chick in Ghana. I've seen safety chick in Kwara. I've seen safety chick, and it's like you're just monitoring the footprints of safety chick, you know. So Titi, could you just help us? How do we get to tap into that adventure of these backpackers as educators and, you know, use that, you know, to get into a place where we're unrestrained in our expertise?
Roti, She's a backpacker, so let her answer. Because
You said?
she will tell you about how she went to this place, how she went to that place. My own, you know me. Fear they travel me. I was like, they travel, they fear me. I really hate traveling. So I don't know that equates to my sense of adventure. No, I actually have a bit of an adventurous spirit, but I would like to hear from Safety Chick, because Safety Chick seems to have plenty of those kind of moves. So
you're laughing at Dracula.
You must reflect on her sense of adventure, and she has studied it for a while, because I know when she gives the example, I'm like, when was this girl doing all these moves? And, she said some of it was from her secondary school days of doing a debate and all those things. So they embody. Make she tell us about it.
So, Safety Chick, you've been put on the spot. Give us one adventure. Let's get to hear one adventure. Or should I pick one for you? Your adventures actually have been captured for different purposes anyways. So I know that Safety Chick, there was a time, and it's very easy for Safety Chick to want to do a getaway. She's stressed or things are not bubbling in a particular way. She's jetting out. I know she has some hideouts in South, Uyo to be precise. Before you know it, she's back to Osun State. I know she has another hideout in Osun State, But I think a lot of people, another person that really inspires me in the place of traveling, especially many, many years ago when I got to meet her, is Adelola. Adelola can travel. As in, if Titi, Adelola now. Adelola,
Yes,
autism just Adelola. I met Adelola, I think 2011 or thereabout, can't remember. Adelola, as in, no, that girl, at one point I was then I'm giving her an award. As in, she can travel,
I wasn't hearing anything again. Can you hear me now?
Oh,
okay.
Wow. Are you serious? We can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just talking about Adelola, Safety Chick, that Adelola is if we're ranking the race, Adelola is going to go for gold when it comes to traveling. As in, it's just amazing. I've seen Adelola travel in like 4 states within 4 states or thereabout more within 2 days or 3 days.
Wow.
Amazing. And it's sometimes not as convenient to the eyes, but it's almost like just that there's a resolve. I have to do what I have to do. And sometimes that thing, I remember, let me share my 21 state tour. I remember how that tour happened, and I just had that conversation and I said, okay, let's have some destinations we're going to start with. And I went to have a meeting with a client, and he just said, "Oh, so you think it's possible?" I said, "Why not? If you guys are ready to host me, why not?" And they said, "Okay, how ready am I?" I said, "I'm ready as soon as yesterday." And I was driving back to my office, and I got a call from the first location that we're expecting you tomorrow, and we're sending. I said, "What?" And that's how we started our journey. And then from one state to the other, from one state to the other, and I didn't believe it. I was able to do 21 states. It's fun, mixture of different realities, sweet and sour, good transportation. There are some places that I had to go by road. I remember the worst experience was the southeast aspect of the tour. I remember, I don't know, I was just in the car next, I just found out that tears were dropping out of my eyes. When you just look at some of the things that you have to go through just to make impact. But it's still part of the experience, you get to see how big the country is, you get to see how the problems of people are, begin to appreciate the quality of what you have to offer, begin to see that there's uneven expertise of skill, there's uneven spread of skill. You know, these are many more. And I can't wait to take Titi along with me in 2021. You know, it's one of my unspoken goals and dreams. Now I've said it to the world, and I'm committed to keep my word
I hate
on the
road
Good
journey.
Morning Education show. So I'm writing officially to your husband and family and to the Niger Kids directors that I am taking Titi on the tour 2021. Safety, do I have a yes?
Yes. Yes,
Yes.
she doesn't want road trip. Flight to be by flight.
Titi, I'm taking Titi on the tour. No, safety, me and safety, we have plans already. That one, our own plan is a surprise. I don't want to open our own bag today.
Any waka that does not involves more than max 2-hour journey, it has to be by air. I know they do those sufferhead road trip.
Don't worry, it's part of it.
It's by air.
We need to crest that medal. Medal of impact. Adelphi, Niger Kids. She's been able to transverse, you know. That's and you'll be shocked. New gaming ideas and situations will come in as well. You know, trust me.
I like your sense of adventure.
So now, ladies and gentlemen, watch out to a city near you. Titi is coming on tour. And then you roll out the carpets, and then you get to taste the food. You eat different kinds of fruits, you know, and so many things. Yeah. So still on unrestrained expertise, we've been having fun. We've been sharing a lot together. And we believe that this is something that we all need to
something?
Yes,
Since
please.
network took me out earlier when I want to talk about it. So that's about adventure, about traveling. So traveling, one of the things that makes it easy for me to go somewhere to do my work is because I know what my agenda is. So I know that my agenda is Africa, right? I know that my agenda is nationwide. It's not just Oshodi, it's all a local government of Lagos State, you see. So because I am clear on that, it makes it easy for me to take on opportunities that require maybe I go to another state or go to another country. Because once I can see how that movement is going to push my agenda forward, it's going to push my compelling vision forward, I will do it. And that's why I would go to Las Vegas to go and deliver a presentation. It's not like maybe Las Vegas was the best place for me to go to, you know, but it was just necessary. When I saw the platform that was available, I saw what was needed. I knew that, okay, this helps to push the needle forward in the direction that I want it to go, right? So that's what can actually, you know, encourage. And then, of course, thankfully, COVID has made it such that you don't necessarily need to move for your work to move. So a lot has been done across different countries and all that. But you see, as much as a lot can be done that way, it's also important to see how physically you are also able to go. And so it should be a two-way plan, right? So the plans for the things that can be done virtually. So either you are being part of an institute, doing something in another country, or you are delivering a presentation virtually, or if it means you going there in person to do it, by all means do so. But it's really important that in 2020 and going on into this decade, everybody begins to think borderless, begins to think of how to push what they are doing from just one space to more spaces. And that would vary from person to person. So for someone, it might be pushing it from Oshodi Solo local government to all the local government in Lagos. So that person might be moving things not just from in Lagos, they're moving things to North Central, North East, North West, you know, so that they are not just only a Southwest business or a Southwest thought leader. For some other persons, it might be moving things across the African continent. And for another person to be across the globe, you know, you are not just restricted to Africans. You want as many people as possible to know. So this again boils down to your compelling vision. What exactly are you trying to achieve? What exactly are you here to do? What exactly, where do you want your name to be heard? What mark do you want to make in the world? Because once you are clear on that, it makes it easy for the other things to happen.
All right, thank you so much. We've had a great time today, and I believe that it's just for people to take these things that we've shared and put it into practice. A major part of it is to understand that there's no block. You know, that invincible restraint, people need to deal with it. And I believe that a lot of people should be encouraged to spread virtually, physically, offline, online, collaborating, and also individually. I believe that we will begin to explore and see the power of exporting ourselves and getting the value of our said. You know, sometimes it's like taking a leap of faith in life. We need to do something with it. And of course, remember, like Safety Chick said, it's just like having an agenda. So we're going to come to the end of the show now, and I'd like you to just give one word or parting shot as regards this conversation today on restrained expertise, starting with Titi and then back to Safety Chick. Parting shots, please.
So my party shot to everyone that's listening, that will watch the replay, is number one, go and set those goals. That big scary goals that scares you. Break those goals into a smaller goal and go and book the appointment. As in, if this week ends and you've not, made that firm commitment to one of those things, then you're not ready to start. Don't postpone it. Don't wait till next year. Don't let this week pass without you booking a date for the first step in your big scary goal. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Ugochi?
Yes, so for me, I would say that stop having the mentality that when you share your expertise, someone else is going to steal it and run away with it. Operate from a mindset of abundance. So gain as much knowledge, share as much as you can, and make sure that you're making an impact outside of yourself and your immediate family members. I mean, for some of us in this part of the world, it's duty to take care of your family members. But when you begin to do things that shape the lives of other people who may never even be able to thank you, or never even be able to appreciate what you are doing, then that is actually what we should be gunning for.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And of course, I'm going to end by saying that I'm taking Titi on tour, and probably you would see Titi starting from January, and it could be before January. Anything can happen. Titi is now officially my travel body. It's not just my virtual anchor body. I'm not just an expert or analyst. I'm going to travel with Titi. So if you're looking for some time next year, or sometime soon, please get set for a lady with glasses, with biscuits in a bag, coming to a city next to you. Until we come your way tomorrow, do have a great day, enjoy yourself, and stop being restrained. So at this point in time, we'd like to end by saying it's always a great morning on the Good Morning Education.
Good Morning Education Show. Bye, everyone.
Bye.